Right. So today we are going to start series of lectures on the physiology of the respiration, that how the respiration occurs, how we inspire the air. So let's begin with some terminology related with the physiology of the respiration. Number one is bicarbonate ions. So basically, what is bicarbonate ions? Bicarbonate ions are formed when carbon dioxide dissolve in water and make the carbonic acid. Carbon dioxide plus H2O is equal to HCO3 negative, that is bicarbonate ions. And these bicarbonate ions once again we can say reversibly break down to form water and carbon dioxide in the lungs. Okay, so majority of the carbon dioxide of the body is carried by the bicarbonate ions, we can simply say. Then second term is carba-amino-hemoglobin. Very tongue twister. Carba-amino hemoglobin. So this is the compound formed by the carbon dioxide and hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin has a certain alpha chain and beta chain on which the carbon dioxide bind, making carba-amino-hemoglobin. And third one is partial pressure. It is the pressure of the gas exerted by itself by the gas in a mixture of gases or any liquid. In a mixture of gas or liquid, when a gas is present in a mixture of gases, for example in air the carbon dioxide and oxygen are present, therefore they are exerting some pressure as compared to other gases, which is according to its we can say amount and volume. Okay, right? And this is called the partial pressure of the gas. After that, we should understand and also keep in mind that the physiology of respiration depend upon many factors. In fact, it is a complex function of respiratory system. It is very complex function of respiratory system, which would not be possible, we can say, which would not be possible without the integration of numerous physiological control system like respiratory control system, cardiovascular control system, cerebral cortex, plus clearing the acid base water balance. For example, we can say in this regard urinary system also plays a very critical role in the respiration, which is related directly or indirectly. And above all, the metabolism of the cells, and yes please, circulation or the circulatory system. It is the heart that will pump the blood into the lungs towards the alveoli for the gas exchange. If some individual or some patients are having problems in the cardiovascular system, how would be it possible that the blood can be pumped towards the alveoli? It will not be possible. For example, we can say that example of congestive cardiac failure, metabolic problems, acidosis, alkalosis. So all these factors work together to maintain the integrity, maintain the equilibrium, or maintain the adequacy, compliance of the lungs, we can say compliance of the respiratory system, adequate functioning of the respiratory system, or the proper functioning of the respiratory system. So let's start our discussion with pulmonary ventilation. So after the terminology, we will now discuss about the pulmonary ventilation, which in simple words we call it respiration or taking the air in, taking the air out, that is inspiration and expiration. So let's begin with pulmonary ventilation. Pulmonary ventilation. So what is basically pulmonary ventilation? In simple words, we call it breathing, taking the air in or taking the air out. So what are the various mechanism of the pulmonary ventilation? Let's start with mechanism, that how the air really moves in and out of the lungs. Air move in and out of the lungs for the same basic reason, for the same basic principle, that a fluid or a gas, please note it down, that a fluid or a gas can move from, yes please, higher concentration to lower concentration gradient, which we call CG, concentration gradient, which we call CG, concentration gradient. So it is the basic reason, it is the basic principle that we had studied in the previous secondary and higher secondary classes, that whenever there is a pressure difference between the liquid or a gas, it moves from pressure of higher concentration gradient towards the low pressure gradient. So basically it is the pressure. Under standard conditions, when we talk about standard conditions, like normal condition, when we are resting, when we are not exercising and the oxygen demand of the body is low, in the atmosphere air exert a pressure of 760 mm Hg on our 760 mm of mercury on our alveoli or on our respiratory system at the end of the expiration, and before the beginning of another inspiration. When we expire, the atmospheric pressure exert a pressure of 760 mm mercury, and before the onset of next inspiration, it also exert a equal pressure. It was pressure of expiration, and during the inspiration it also exert pressure of 760 mm mercury. So what did we see? We see that the equilibrium is there, but when, yes please note it down, when atmospheric pressure is greater than the pressure within the lung, when the atmospheric pressure, the air around us, environment around us is having more pressure. For example, let's take a classical example of hills or hilly area, or simply we can say that whenever we move upward towards the atmosphere away from the gravitational forces of the earth, the pressure or the amount of air decreases, but the pressure inside our lungs is more. So the person has to make an, or we can say intercostal muscles have to make an extra effort to take the inspiration inside, take the air inside, and the expiration becomes easy. Similarly, very similarly, when atmospheric pressure is greater than the pressure within the lungs, when the pressure is outside is higher than the 760 mm of mercury, then the air obviously moves or diffuse or shift downward into the lungs, because of, yes please, pressure gradient, and therefore inspiration occurs. Is it clear to everybody? Having any doubt till now? Okay. Reversely if we see, or conversely we see, when the pressure inside the lung becomes higher, for example we can say that the pressure inside the tire of a vehicle is more than the atmospheric pressure. That is why when we try to leak out the air from the tire, it diffuses outside from the tire into the atmosphere. Similarly, after the inspiration, when the pressure inside the lungs is more, the cavity has expanded, the thorax has become large, diaphragm muscles had moved or shifted downward, increasing the capacity of the or the volume of the area. Right? According to Boyle's law, let's remind yourself the Boyle's law. As there is increase in the area, there is decrease in the, yes please, pressure. Now we had inspired and the air is present inside the lungs. As soon as the air is present inside the lungs, the pressure becomes higher, and during that time, when the diaphragm muscles relax, passive movement of air is there called expiration, because the pressure inside the lungs is higher than the atmosphere. Now that is also right, that intercostal muscles have a time to relax and contract. At the same time, the brain signal is also there, but we are discussing about the pressure differences, basic principles of the inspiration and expiration. So what did we see? That inspiration occur due to the increase in the thoracic area dimension and decrease in pressure according to Boyle's law, and the air is shifted downward. Whereas when the pressure inside the lungs is higher, the air is shifted outward with the help of passive movement of air by the diaphragm and intercostal muscles. So basically what is going on? The main target, the main motive of these is to make set the equilibrium between the expiration and inspiration, therefore making our body the part of the atmosphere. That is why the atmosphere is not able to crush our body, crush our alveoli, or collapse our alveoli, crush our lungs. This is the expansion of the thorax, increase in volume, result in decrease intrapleural pressure, which cause inspiration, and the higher pressure in the lungs cause expiration. So this was the basic fundamental of the inspiration and expiration. According to Boyle's law, according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, we can say also that inspiration and expiration occur in our body. So after this video, we will discuss about the inspiration and expiration in detail. Thank you for watching.